Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Chapter 2.9 Notes for Ms. Carranza and Mr. Grice's Algebra 1 class. Today we are going to be going over the additive and multiplicative properties of real numbers. Okay, so our learning target today is to be able to identify and use the different properties that we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so at the very top you're going to see that we have the additive property, which is also addition, or the multiplicative properties, which are multiplication. Okay, so we'll be going through and giving examples of all of these. So the first property we're going to be talking about is the commutative property. Okay, now commute means to move. Have you ever heard anyone say that they commute to college? Or they don't like the commute to work? Okay, that means that they're driving somewhere. Okay, they're moving. So with addition, if we have a plus b plus c, what that means is you can move the order around and you're going to get the same answer. Okay, now if we do that with numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is the same thing as 1 plus 3 plus 2. Okay, it doesn't matter what the order is, okay, you still get the same thing. And that's true with multiplication too. Even when we substitute numbers in, you can multiply those out and you will get the same answer. Okay, the key thing here is when you're using the commutative property, you change the order. All right, the next property we're going to be talking about is associative property. Okay, to associate means to group. You might hear, who do you associate with? Or who are your friends? Who do you associate with? Who do you hang out with? Okay, and when you're using the associative property, you're grouping things. What symbol in math helps you group things? It's the parentheses. So no matter where you put those parentheses, you're still going to get this same answer, okay? With these, the order stays the same. We didn't move anything around. All we're moving is where the parentheses are. And if we were to actually put numbers in here, we would get the same answer. All right. The next property is the identity property. Okay, an identity refers to the self. Okay, when we're working with the identity property, you are going to get the same answer. So, with addition, what number can I add to this and get the same number back? Okay, that's 0. And when we're using multiplication, what number can you multiply by to get the same number back? It's not 0, it's 1. Okay, so for this, it's going to be two different things. All right, inverse. When you look at inverse, inverse means to cancel. okay? When you're canceling things, you need to think about opposite operations. So with addition, a plus what gives you 0? Well, that's a plus the opposite of a. Now, here's the tricky one right here. When you are doing the inverse multiplicative property, when you cancel things, you need to get 1. So when you're multiplying here, you are actually going to multiply by the reciprocal. And that's our little note right here, is to multiply by the reciprocal. All right, one more property. This is what we talked about the other day in section 2.6. Distribute means to multiply. And you can only distribute if there is addition or subtraction inside the parentheses. So if we have 2a plus b, after we distribute, 2 times a gives you 2a, and 2 times b gives you 2b. All right. Which property is demonstrated? Be specific as to whether it is the additive or multiplicative properties. So the first one should actually be written 12 minus 0 equals 0. So right away, I see that that's a 0, and we are adding, not subtracting. So I know that's the additive, and that is the identity. Oh, I have no idea what I'm trying to spell right there. Identity. Okay? So when you're looking at these, look right away to see what operation's going on, because that's going to give you a clue right away. Additive in our answer is 0, so that's the additive inverse. All right, let's look at these. That's supposed to be a plus sign. So 2 plus 5 plus 3. 3 plus 2 plus 5. All they did was move those around. We're using addition. So the way they write this one is the commutative property of addition. All right, for D, right in the middle, I see that they're multiplying. And our answer is 1. So multiplicative inverse. Okay, that's the equal sign right there. I see that they're adding, and I see the grouping symbols. Okay, so that's the associative property of addition. Okay, just key things with those ones where the words are just mixed up a little bit. Just check to see what words are being used. Okay. For F, what operation is that? That shows right away which property we're working with. And then that's the identity. And last one, G. Which one do you think that is? The answer is the distributive. Now this part right here, match the equation with the correct property. This is what you would see on a test, okay? Where you would have to match things up and figure out which property is being used. So I would like you to pause the video real quick and then try it on your own, okay? And there are the answers. As you can see, not all of them were being used. We had a couple there to distract you. All right, well, homework is on the back, which is the Unit 2 review. We will be having a chapter test coming up, so please make sure to study. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Thanks, guys.